Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about why I promote that everyone should be an athlete. Everyone should be an athlete. And I say this largely for psychological reasons. And this is something that comes up when I have discussions with other coaches online, my different little circles I chat in, groups I chat in, other coaches whose walls I post on. I bring this topic up and they're like, well, again, you work with a lot of athletes and not as many gen pop as a lot of us. And so you don't have the same psychological problems, meaning little things like using words like cheat meals or cheat days seems to actually be a problem for the gen pop. Consistency in training, finding the reason to train, the motivation to train. Okay, for the general population, these are actually problems. And the funny thing is that these are problems that shouldn't even exist, right? They're so ridiculous if you really think about them fundamentally, because everyone should be eating reasonably healthy. We know the average American diet's horrific, but everyone should be eating reasonably healthy. They should be monitoring what they eat to some extent, tracking it. Everyone should be doing strength training and some type of cardio, right? These are the basics. These are the basics. And these are things that everyone needs to do consistently. And if they did these things, and I'm not saying powerlifting per se, just basic strength training. Cardio could be real conditioning, or it could just be going out and taking an extra walk every day, right? They should be doing these things. And if everyone did these things, 70 to 80% of our health problems would disappear, particularly in America. Because what kills us? Cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes. That's it. Those are 90+% of all of our deaths in America. Those three things. That's it. All your other stuff ends up being a minuscule amount of death. Accidents, murder, suicide. And I'm not saying these don't matter. I'm not saying these are good things, but statistically, by comparison, they're not even close. They're not even in the same realm as these others. Okay. Almost every one of these are dramatically reduced by good diet and training. Dramatically reduced. We know that strength training twice a week alone reduces cancer by 50% just off the top if no other lifestyle changes are made when multivariate analysis is done. Cancer cuts in half if you change nothing else in your life. That's even if you keep smoking, you keep eating garbage, everything else. 50%. And we're going to get into the cardiovascular and diabetes. Training alone can cut out 80% of diabetes. It kills millions of Americans every year. All right. That being said, so why does it matter? What I mean by compete in something. If you compete in something, you have a reason to train. I don't care what it is. Sure, it could be powerlifting. I love powerlifting. I promote powerlifting. I'm wearing a powerlifting shirt right there. Okay? It doesn't have to be powerlifting. It could be tennis. It could be golf. It could be Tough Mudder. It could be, we're doing half marathons. It doesn't have to be full marathon. Run half marathon twice a year. If you wanted to be more distance oriented, find something to compete in. These are common people sports. These are everyday sports that don't require you to be on a big team. They don't require scholarships or a school or anything like that. These are all things that you can compete in. There's even men's leagues with basketball and stuff. There are men leagues with a lot of these team sports that you can go do in women's leagues as adults, as complete amateurs, that still have regular competitions. Frisbee golf. I don't care. Compete in something. Become an athlete. Because when you do that, what do you think happens? You have a reason to train. Now you have an actual reason to train because you want to be competitive at your Frisbee golf. Okay, having good conditioning and being strong will help you. You're playing basketball once a week, doing an adult league, complete amateur, but you got a game every week or every 2 weeks. For points, you're playing against another team. All right, being in good shape, being stronger will help you. I have a client I've had for a long time who is a grandpa. He's got quite a few grandkids. He competes in weightlifting. Do you know why he competes in weightlifting? I'm talking, clean and jerk and snatch, right? He competes in it way into the masters because he's almost 60, right at 60-ish. You know why? He says, because then I have a reason to lift heavy. I have a reason to train, and I want to be strong enough to pick up my grandbabies. Not be frail. I want to be able to pick up my grandbabies in my old age. Therefore, he competes in weightlifting because of that. He hires me as his strength coach. He does his own technique work, and I just get him real strong. And we have gotten him real strong. Okay? He's in a weight class. He now has a reason to track his food. He's got to stay in his weight class. But he competes in it. And he takes it serious. But he competes so that he'll be strong enough to pick up his grandbabies. That's his motivation. So then he competes in a sport because he knows that he will train harder if he competes in something. He knows he'll stay on top of his diet more if he's got to have a weight class. So that's the same of any of these sports, really. People are going to tend to track their food if they can't get too fat, for example, for their sport, say basketball or whatever they're doing, frisbee golf. I don't care. And I'm not making light of those. I'm just naming sports that maybe people haven't thought of that are out there. And there's dozens and dozens and dozens. You can find something that would be fun to compete in. Go find something. And if people do that, they now have a reason to train harder. They have a reason to train consistently. They have a reason to track what they eat that goes beyond, well, I just want to lose a little bit of weight, right? Usually people whose only motivation is I want to lose a little bit of weight. What's the failure rate on that? 90%? Well, when you have something to compete in, you're going to take it a lot more seriously. You're going to take it more seriously. Do you know that getting stronger is going to help you with that? Whatever that sport is, and it will. Even those two I named. Strength will help you. I'm not saying you have to be powerlifter strong. I got a guy who does conjugate, be a better golfer. He's in his 40s. We do band work, chain work. He's got a reverse hyper, specialty bars. We do all of that. He's not brutally strong. He's a hell of a lot stronger than a lot of your average gym rats, and he's in his 40s. You know, he can pass my novice strength standards. And he's happy with that because you know what? He's got a hell of a golf swing now. I've had him for years. You know, obviously you see Michelle and some of these people here who are lifelong athletes. She does powerlifting now. She used to do boxing at a pretty serious level. Okay? Compete in something. And when you get tired of competing in that one thing, find something else to compete in. There is no reason to be Gen Pop with as many sports as we have out there. Don't be general population. Be an athlete. It will benefit you in every level. And it'll give you that motivation to eat better and to train hard. And it will remove all these roadblocks and problems that all these personal trainers seem to have with their clients. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.